Welcome back to the Nerd Cave. As on this week's episode, we're going to be taking a look at another action figure from the far reaches of space. He's my favorite Spider-Man villain, and also a fun Save Toys fact, he was the feature of our very first movie review on the channel. You've probably guessed it by now. Of course, we're talking about Venom as we take a look at my Mafex Venom action figure. So sit back, don't adjust your set on YouTube. I'm your lovable, nerdy host, Travis, and this is Save Toys. Just like Santa Claus on December 25th, another episode of Save Toys come and gone. A few hey, can we clip that from the final one? A few fun facts about the character Venom before we go over to the review booth and take a look at this amazing action figure. You like that pun, right? Amazing Spider-Man, amazing action figure. That was cheap, I know. Anyway, Venom made his first appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 252 in 1984. But it was only a kind of sort of first appearance, as Peter Parker was the first to wear the Venom suit. Wait, you wanted me to mention that Deadpool was the first to wear the Venom suit? It wasn't in the production notes. If I need to say it, it needs to be in the production notes. Sorry, staff, right? Anyway, the first cameo appearance of Eddie Brock wearing the Venom suit. Let's put it that way, okay? All right. The first cameo appearance of Eddie Brock wearing the Venom suit was actually in 1988 in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 299. Now, like I said, again, cameo appearance. His first full appearance was the next issue in 1988, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 300. Now, he's also appeared in a couple movies over the years, including being played by Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3. Kind of, sort of. There's a lot of things to be left desired from that movie, as anyone knows. But his actual best performance, I think, in cinema was played by Tom Hardy. And again, go back and check out our review of that movie in the Save Toys video catalog. So, we're going to go over to the review booth and crack open this action figure and take a look at it. And this is my Mafex Venom action figure. Now, many times I stayed almost every week here at the review booth that the packaging, the better the packaging is, the more it breaks my heart to open it. But look at this. Blam, collector packaging. I can pop open this top, pull the figure out, review it, and then it's probably going right back in this case. Now, I love this homage to comic books up here with this picture of Venom, Marvel, 6-inch, 088 Mafex. Just such a wonderful throwback to the comic book covers. Also, great artwork at the bottom. Really great picture of Venom, Venom jumping out, the Venom symbol. Boom, some great artwork. Let's twist my arm around here. Bam, this is great artwork of Venom. Let's get that back into focus. There he goes. Beautiful colors, awesome. And of course that brings me to the back with the accessories and everything we're getting ready to review. So with that, we are going to be taking a look at this particular figure in 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is my Mafex Venom out of the package. And with this figure, I would like to make the argument that it's my opinion, this is the best Venom action figure ever made, hands down. Now, you may not share that opinion, and that's okay. But this is literally the Venom I have been waiting for years. Now, back early on in Save Toys, we reviewed the black suited Spider-Man from the 90s Spider-Man the Animated Series. And with that, it was a two-part episode. We also did a review of the TV show itself. And this figure takes me all the way back to the 90s. Now, the reason why I say it's the best Venom ever made is a lot of your Venoms out there now are either ill-proportioned, the paint job just isn't quite right, or they've got a lot of tendrils. Now, if you like that, that's totally good if that's you. Me, not so much. I like proper proportions, and this reminds me so much of just not really remind me, but it is the most perfect proportioned Venom that I've seen, with his arms, his legs, his head, the actual spider symbol you see coming around right now. But also, and Marvel Select, has one that it's comparable and kind of reminiscent of the Spider-Man the Animated Series, but it has a clip-on piece in the back that has multiple heads. You've probably seen it, but I'm not really a big fan of the Marvel Legends versions. There's a repaint of a Build-A-Figure coming out now, probably around, I think, is it March? I think it's coming out actually March. So by the time this video airs on YouTube, it's been out for a while, but it's just too bulky and veiny. This is just smooth, sleek, and one of the things too, I want to bring it off the stand just a second. You know, that's always tricky here at Save Toys. It could fall when I put it back up there, but this beautiful blue and black paint job is just such an animated look, reminding me of the cartoons. It's just a beautiful figure. Now, briefly, I do want to talk about some of the articulation. And let's see if I can get my hands both in there. Now, the head goes back about that far, down pretty good ways. That way you can really get some head movement side to side. Arms, you've got some great shoulder movement that you can really get some great, I don't know, poses. As you see right here on the top of the screen, if I can get it up there, there you go. You've got some great bicep swivels, double jointed elbows, hands pivot really good, chest and ab crunch, just waist, let's see, a little bit side to side, really not a whole lot. Double jointed knees, I believe. Yeah, double jointed knees. Great feet right there. So really good. And if I can get him to stand back on the stand properly, that's not gonna happen. Let's scoot that out of the way, lay him down, because now it's time for the accessories. Now, just for time, I have them still in the package, but that's a beautiful Eddie Brock face. It does come with its own neck. I want to point that out. And I do want to warn you, one of the gripes I have is if you're going to change out these hands and heads, you really need to blow dry the pieces first and heat them up, because these pieces on the inside that they go into are really delicate, especially in the hands anyway. And I just kept feeling like mine was about to break. But beautiful head, great painting there with the Venom coming up the neck, the symbiote. Another head right here with the mouth closed, and that's pretty good. Now, this head right here, let's see, he's hung, there we go. That's the one that I like, that's the one I'll be keeping on it. And of course, he's got 6 change of hands, including the magnetic hands, which give it the wall crawling ability, which you can see right here on the screen. I do love the webs. I'm gonna talk about them for a few minutes, so let's pull them out. That's really where I wanna go with accessories. Beautiful webbing. It's slightly posable, really. It's kinda, you can do a little bit with it, but it's gonna kinda go back to where it was. Two sets, 2 for each hands, but this is the one I wanna talk about. Now, I do like this. This is so you can put the wrist in there and kinda, you know, he shoots the webbing, unlike Spider-Man, from the top of his hand. And this is supposed to mimic that. You probably saw it on the thumbnail, but really and truly with it wrapping around the hand right there, it kind of defeats the purpose to me. Maybe they could have come up with a better way to do this, but it's still beautiful webbing. And as you saw in the thumbnail with that Black Spider-Man from the 90s, webbing has come a long way. So this is my Mafex Venom, and we're gonna see you over in the Nerd Cave to conclude this episode. That was an amazing action figure. And that is a shameless pun, the Amazing Spider-Man. And how many times have I called it amazing? Anyway, before we go, I want to talk about one more aspect of this great action figure. How about that? Nice change, huh? If you've been watching the Save Toys YouTube channel, you're no doubt a collector of some kind. Now, I'm going to be talking about action figures here, but it really applies to whatever niche and thing you collect. Now, as a collector, one thing I've noticed is an area that I need to work on with my particular collection, and that's because most of the action figures I've had over the years, I've posed them in the straight up and down vanilla pose. And this particular figure is designed to be posed in radical action poses. Radical, that's the word from the 80s. And it's really gonna take me out of my comfort zone. And that's what I want to encourage everyone watching this particular episode to do with whatever your niche is. Find something that takes you out of your comfort zone and expand your repertoire, if you will, of what you collect and how you do your collection. And I think it'll bring personal satisfaction and take you forward in what you do as a collector. So that wraps up this week's episode of Save Toys. Thank you again for joining us every week into the Nerd Cave. I really look forward to seeing you, and I hope you look forward to seeing me. And until next time, if you like it, collect it. See you then.